Washington Times' Kelly Sadler and former Georgia Congressman Jack Kingston. Kelly, Senate confirmations are set to begin after Congress is sworn in tomorrow. Some Trump picks like Pete Hegseth, Tulsi Gabbard, Kash Patel. I hear senators are actually are using yesterday's events to say the Senate needs to act quickly, get the president's national security, homeland security team confirmed quickly so he hits the ground running on day one. What are you hearing in Washington?
The same thing. If anything, what happened on New Year's Day demonstrates that there needs to be an overhaul of our intelligence agencies, especially our FBI. Kash Patel and Pete Hegseth have both sworn to tackle DEI initiatives that have corrupted both the Pentagon and the upper ranks of the FBI in order to right the ship. We need agents who are committed to finding terrorist suspects and weeding them out and preventing these attacks from happening. Instead, you have both the Pentagon and the FBI basically looking for DEI hires, for diversity, for inclusion, for equity. They're not hiring the best and the brightest, and this needs to stop.
Well, Congressman, nice to see you this morning. So President Biden once said that white supremacy was the biggest threat to our democracy. He was also calling mothers and fathers of school children, calling them domestic terrorists. And then yesterday, only hours after these attacks over on 6th Avenue in Midtown Manhattan, there was a crowd of pro-Palestinians screaming that we need a global intifada. These people feel empowered in this moment under the Biden administration. I feel like the Biden administration has completely lost the plot. And I want to quote something that Kelly just said. She said that this incoming administration, they need agents that are committed to finding these terrorists within our country. That needs to be done.
Absolutely. You know, one group you did not list just now was Catholics, but they were on the FBI list as well. And it's interesting that the last trip that President Biden's going to take is to see the Pope. So maybe the two can talk about that, what a threat these pro-life, pro-family type people are to America. You know, I want to get back to the hearings. I think the two questions would be, what would you have done differently leading up to this point, and what are you going to do now? Because this investigation is going to fall into your lap. So the transition has to start immediately, and it has to be coordinated with the existing team. But remember, once you appoint a cabinet member, he or she has to hire dozens of other people underneath them who are believer in MAGA, believer in the mission in general, believer in let's focus on the bad guys and not the American family members. And so all that has to fall in place, and it may take 6 months. They don't have 6 months. They have just got to get confirmed immediately and hire their team right away. Fortunately, most of them are experienced. They know people in Washington. They have identified some of the team members that they're going to bring in, but there is an absolute sense of urgency. Congress gets sworn in tomorrow. I urge the Senate to move up the hearing schedule to next week on Monday and get to work.
Information. Truth is freedom. Is Newsmax. It's real news for real people.